All right, today we're going to talk about a tool that's, well, it's a bit different from your average AI image generator. We're talking about Adobe Firefly. Yeah, that Adobe, the company that's basically been the backbone of the creative world for, like, ever. So the big question is, does their name on an AI tool actually make it better? Let's jump in and see. And that really gets to the heart of the matter, doesn't it? It's kind of the million-dollar question for any creative professional or marketer out there. I mean, we are just swimming in amazing AI-generated art, but can you actually use it for work? Without waking up in a cold sweat worrying about getting a copyright lawsuit? That's the exact problem Adobe is trying to solve. Okay, so first things first, let's really break down what Adobe Firefly is, because it's really not just one simple app or tool, it's a bit more complex than that. So yeah, Firefly isn't some separate program you have to download. The best way to think about it is like a family of AI models that are built right into the software you're probably already using every single day, like Photoshop and Illustrator. And the whole idea, the big mission behind it, is this concept of being commercially safe. We're definitely going to unpack what that means in just a bit. All right, so let's get into the fun stuff. What can you actually do with Firefly? Because I'll tell you right now, it goes way beyond just typing in a prompt and getting an image back. These are really the heavy hitters in the Firefly toolbox. Generative fill, it's an absolute game changer for editing photos. Imagine just telling Photoshop to add a flock of birds to a sky, and it does it. Text to image is, the one we're all familiar with, your standard AI art generator. Then there's generative expand, which is amazing for when a photo isn't wide enough and you need to magically extend the background. And for all you designers out there, text effects and generative recolor are just incredible for trying out tons of new ideas in seconds. What's so wild about this is just how simple it all is. I mean, we're talking about a seriously powerful process here. You literally just circle a bit of grass in your photo, type in something like add a reflective pond, and poof, that's it. Photoshop just serves up a few options for you to pick from. It honestly feels less like you're wrestling with complicated software and more like you're just talking to an assistant, describing what you want. It completely changes the game from doing everything by hand to just directing the art. So you're probably wondering, how do I get my hands on this? Well, the good news is it's actually super easy to get started. Whether you're a pro who lives in Adobe apps or you're just kind of curious about this whole AI thing. You've basically got two main ways in. You can just head over to the Firefly website, firefly.adobe.com, and start playing around right away. All you need is a free Adobe account. That's perfect for just, trying things out. But the real magic, the real power, is when you use it inside an app like Photoshop. It's built right into your workflow, and that's what you get with a Creative Cloud subscription. Now, of course, all this AI wizardry isn't totally free. So let's talk about the money. How does Adobe's whole pricing system work? Okay, so Adobe has this system they call generative credits. Honestly, the best way to think of it is like getting tokens for an arcade game. Every single time you click that generate button, whether you're making a whole new image or just filling a tiny part of one, it costs you 1 credit. So what happens if you run out? Well, you can still use it, but things get a lot slower. Or you can just buy more credits to get back up to full speed. And here's a quick look at how you get those credits. You can actually start for free, which is pretty cool. They give you 25 credits a month. If you need more, there's a premium plan. But honestly, for anyone doing this professionally, the full Creative Cloud subscription is the best deal. That gets you a whopping 1,000 credits every single month. Okay, now we're getting to the most important part of this whole thing. This is the feature that really truly separates Firefly from pretty much everything else out there. And it's why the business world is paying so much attention. So what does commercially safe really mean? It's not just some marketing buzzword, it's a serious promise. The whole secret is in the data they used to train it. See, most other AI models learn by just scraping the entire internet. We're talking billions of images, copyrighted art, people's personal photos, company logos, you name it. And that creates this massive legal minefield. Adobe, they went a completely different route. Firefly was trained only on stuff they have the legal rights to use. So think the giant Adobe stock library, open license content, and stuff that's in the public domain. It's a clean data set from day one, built specifically to keep you out of legal hot water. So this approach really gives you 3 pillars of safety. First, you've got that clean training data we just covered. Second, and this is huge for businesses, Adobe offers something called IP indemnification. That's a fancy way of saying they promise to help cover your legal costs if you get sued. And third, every single image made with Firefly gets a kind of hidden digital label. They call it content credentials that makes it clear it's AI generated. It's all about transparency. Which leads us right to this incredible promise. I mean, Adobe is literally putting their money where their mouth is. You just don't see this kind of corporate backing in the wild west of generative AI. And that right there is a massive reason why businesses are taking Firefly so seriously. So look, when you put it all together, the fact that it's built ready into the apps professionals use, the easy to understand pricing, and most importantly, that solid foundation of being commercially safe, the conclusion is pretty clear. If you're a creative or a business that needs to use AI for actual work, right now, Firefly is pretty much the undisputed champ. And that kind of leaves us with one last big question to think about. As these AI tools get more and more powerful, is this whole idea of safe, ethically trained, and legally backed AI going to become the new normal? Is that what we're all going to demand? Adobe is definitely betting that it is. And honestly, it could change the entire creative industry.